You have it in you to become your most confident musician self. And this episode is going to tell you exactly how you are going to do it. Because the thing about it is that it is so easy to go through every single day doing exactly what you've already done, but then you're like, I'm not changing, I'm not growing. I still feel not confident in myself as a musician. I still question my worth. I still wonder if I even deserve to be in the places that I am. I still compare myself to other people. I still do all these things and I want to change. You know it. You know it. That is why you are here. You know that there is a version of you who is different. And the fact is, if you want it that badly, the reality is there is a version of you in the future who has it. That is why you want it so badly. You know that you are meant for greater things as a musician, and this is how you're going to get to them. Welcome back to another episode of the Confident Musicianing Podcast. Let's dive right into how you are going to become that confident musician. The first thing that we got to do in order to become that confident musician is decide who that version of you is. You cannot become someone or do anything without already knowing beforehand what it is. If you're always like, oh my gosh, I want to become more confident, I want to stop comparing myself, I want to be able to walk into rooms without imposter syndrome, I want to perform on stages and actually enjoy my playing, but you don't actually know what that version of you looks like, then you're never going to get there. Furthermore to that, if you want the outcomes, the enjoying your performance, the going after things and getting, the opportunities that you want to get, all of those things, if you want that, you are going to have to become the version of you who can hold that. Because the version of you now is not the version of you who has those things. Otherwise, you would already have those things. So this is really important to remember, and this is what I talk so much about in my program, the Confidence Program, the program that gets musicians confident. I talk about you are not going after the things that you want. You are going after the version of you who has those things. Because if you just go after the things that you want, you're not going to get them because you and yourself are not capable of actually holding them, of actually having them. Okay? So that's, I think before we dive into like anything like that is so extremely important. So let's talk about who that person is, because we got to get crystal clear on that. We got to get so clear on who you're becoming before you can actually become them. So think about the things that you want. What do you want? I want to perform confidently. I want to go into spaces and not feel imposter syndrome. I want to be able to go into an audition and give my best and not, practice one way and then perform a completely different way that disappoints myself. I don't want that. Okay, that's great. Now ask, what version of you has that? Because let's think about it. If you want to become that, if you want to have performances where you enjoy the performance and you don't worry about what other people are thinking, then you're probably not gonna get it by ruminating the night before. That's not gonna be how it works. You're not gonna get to the thing, you're not gonna get the thing that you want if you are the type of person who ruminates the night before, who checks the audience. I mean, let's be honest, we've all done this. You make a mistake on stage and your eyes go to the audience and you're like, who saw? Whose facial expression changed? You are not, if you want to enjoy your performance on stage, then the version of you who can enjoy their performance on stage is not the version of you who stops at every single little mistake and beats yourself up about it. It's just not. It's just not. So we gotta first start with who that person is, what they do. And I want you to get so specific. What do they do? How do they wake up in the morning? How do they respond to failure? How do they respond to worry, to setbacks, to everything? Every single thing. How do they respond to these things? Okay? Get so specific, because that's who you're becoming. You're not actually going after the things, you're going after the version of you who can have those things. And that in itself, that in a nutshell is how you become confident. And the thing about it is there's so much into that. There's so much underneath that. Because then, once you are aware of your identity, of the version of you that you are trying to become, then you have to align your actions. Then you have to be like, okay, so the version of me who can perform confidently on a stage is not the version of me who is scrolling on my phone at 2 a.m. comparing myself to other musicians. So I, in order to get to the point where I can enjoy myself on stage, have to stop scrolling at 2 a.m. comparing myself to other musicians. And so you have to align your actions. And aligning your actions, that's literally what the confidence program is about. This is a program that I have for musicians. It is a subscription thing. It is a community thing. We are all together in this program. Inside the program, the musicians in the program are building real confidence. Basically, they're doing what I told you, but it is so much more intricate and detailed and focused and layered. There are so many scenarios and videos and things. They get coaching from me every single week, specific coaching for them specifically. That is what the program is about. So you can listen to this episode, and I want you to take so much from this episode, and I want you to take so much from this podcast, because I put in so much effort into this podcast because I care. I care about you transforming and becoming the musician that you want to become, because I see musicians all the time. They are so good at their instruments, but they don't believe it. They are so good at their instruments, but when they go inside a room, or in a room with so many other amazing musicians, they feel imposter syndrome. They feel like they don't belong, even though they 100% do. And that affects how they show up. That affects who they are. That affects what they say yes to, what they say no to. That affects, who they go and talk to. Because let's just pretend you're in that room and you are capable as a musician, but you don't believe it. And there's someone that you're like, oh my gosh, I really want to talk to them. I want to create like a professional connection with them. I want to create like a musical connection with them. But you don't believe that you are enough for that, and you don't go and talk to them. Well, okay, that opportunity is not ever going to happen. As opposed to the musician who understands their worth, who understands their confidence, who knows the version of them that they are becoming, does that thing, so they go do that thing. That happened to me. I had a situation once where there was this person who was the ambassador, like the UK ambassador of a brand that I'm really passionate about, a brand that is my oboe brand that makes my oboe. And I was like nervous, but I was like, I know that the version of me who I am becoming, who can have the things that I want, they go and they talk to this person and they introduce themselves. And I did that. And the multitude that came out of that, so many things. I was able to do an amazing collaboration with them. I performed with so many, it turned into like multiple different opportunities, including performing at the Théâtre des Champs-Élysées in Paris with huge names. And I did that because I went and I talked to this person, because I knew that that is the musician that I'm becoming. So I did the thing even though I was scared, because I was like, okay, that's who I'm becoming, so that's what I have to do, because I'm becoming the musician who can hold the things that I want. And that musician goes and talks to this person. So that's just an example. And that is what we teach in the confidence program. That is literally it. I mean, that and so much more. That's what we teach in the program. The musicians inside the program, they go after the things they want. They do it with undeniable confidence. They don't take failures and setbacks personally. It doesn't stop them. They just continue. They just continue. They are forces to be reckoned with, the musicians of the program. And that means, like, that is what I'm so passionate about. Because there was a time when I was not confident, when I looked at other musicians, compared myself to them, did not, like, just brought myself down every possible opportunity that, I just brought myself down. And I do not want that for any musician, because every single musician can become their most confident self. It is possible. It is so possible. And so going to, like, how to become confident, you create that identity, you understand that identity. And there are techniques, like, for instance, like visualizations. You can visualize the identity, and there are guided visualizations inside the confidence program. Like, that's literally, like, there are guided visualizations, but the idea of it is you sit, you imagine who that person is. And what that does is it allows your body to understand that it is safe to become that person. Because the fact of the matter is, we only do what we're comfortable with. Our nervous systems will only allow us to do what our nervous systems feel safe doing. If something is outside your nervous system feeling safe, it will not allow you to do it to get there, including receiving things. So if you, in your nervous system, do not actually feel safe going on stage, performing your best, enjoying your performance, talking to the people you need to talk to, etc., 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 you're not gonna do that. So the point is making sure that your nervous system understands that it is actually, in fact, safe to do all of these things so that you can go do them and you can become the musician who has the things that you want. And so what that comes from is understanding who you want to be, understanding that most confident self, visualizing them, getting so clear about that, and also teaching your nervous system, teaching your body that it is safe to become that person. That is basically that in a nutshell. Yeah, it's basically that, and then making decisions in accordance to that person. Because oftentimes we say, oh my gosh, I want to be in this ensemble. Oh my gosh, I want to do this thing. Oh my gosh, etc., etc. And so we practice. We lock ourselves up in a practice room. We practice, which I'm not against. Practicing is amazing. We need to practice as musicians, but there's also another aspect to it, which is allowing your nervous system to feel safe enough to actually go after the things that you want to go after and become the version of you who can actually hold those things. That's where it lies. That's where it's at. And that is what the confidence program teaches. And that's what I'm all about. That's what I'm all about, because this is what has unlocked so many things for me. I used to be the musician who was so insecure, who never got anything she wanted because she did not allow herself to go after those things, to try to become that person that she wanted to become. She was like the person who beat herself up after every single mistake. And by every single mistake, I literally mean every single note mistake. So that's where I was. And now I am a musician. I'm studying at one of the top conservatoires in the world. I have performed on stages like the Théâtre des Champs-Élysées in Paris with so many amazing people. I have a musical life that I love. I'm studying at a school that I love. I have a community online. I have you, I have this podcast. I am sharing how I got here, and I love that. And if I told that younger me who was so insecure, she'd be like, oh my goodness, like, what happened? What happened was I realized who I wanted to become. I visualized that person, and I allowed my body to understand that it's safe to be her. That's what happened. And that's what this whole episode is about. So that's kind of it in the nutshell. And I want you to understand this. So what I want you to do is think about that person. Who is that person? What do they do? How do they show up? What do they do differently than you? What do they do that's different from you right now? And then change your habits, change what you do, and then become that identity. And then then you'll be able to become that confident musician, and the confidence will come. So that's in a nutshell. And if you want to make sure that you are not wasting time figuring it out, join the confidence program. Join the confidence program. It's £98 a month if you pay monthly, and it is £73 technically £73 and 83 pence, but £73 a month if you pay annually. Literally that. Literally that. Think about how much you pay for like music lessons compared, you know? So just so you like, in that case, that's what that is, and it is an amazing community. So if you wanna hop inside that, do so. The link is in the description, in the show notes of this video. But yeah, that is basically in a nutshell how you become that confident musician. And I believe in you. I truly, truly believe in you. You can do this, okay? I will see you in the next episode. I hope you really enjoy this episode, or have really enjoyed this episode. And if you enjoyed it, please do leave a review. If this is on YouTube, leave comments, like it, follow the podcast, and let me know what you think. Like, literally email me, Eleanor@confidentmusicianing.com. DM me on Instagram. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, until next time.